Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. We are so pleased to have in the studio with us today our friends from the National Latina Business Women Association. Joining us is Rebeca Sheehan. She is the Vice Chair, Scholarship and Grants. How you doing, Rebecca?
Well, good morning.
Good to see you. And joining you is your colleague, Denise Montero. She is the Marketing Chair for the organization. How are you doing, Denise?
Very good, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning to you. And I'm honored to have a longtime friend and colleague as our celebrity co-host. We've been doing this now for a little bit, and I think she may even turn into a celebrity host when we get her to run some of the shows herself. And that is Jamie Moraga. She is the founder and CEO of Franklin Revere, longtime community leader, and in many different ways. Jamie, honored to have you sit next to me.
Oh my gosh, I usually sit across from you, so this is really an honor to sit right next to you.
Well, exactly. Hopefully my IQ won't drop yours down to below room temperature, but I
don't think so.
I think we're just going to be fine. Why don't you get us kicked off and ask a question to Rebecca?
Yeah, so Rebecca, your organization's mission is very inspiring. So can you tell us a little bit more about NLBWA and how they empower Latinas?
Oh, absolutely, Jamie. Our mission at the National Latina Business Women's Association is to empower through education, through not just entrepreneurs, but somebody who's wanting to scale their career. So we are doing trainings for AI. We are doing trainings and providing mentorship for people that maybe didn't think that they could scale their business to government contracting, making sure that they get all of the certifications. It's a lot of it's hands-on and embracing. Our organization was started by Latina women about 20 years ago. They saw that there was a need in the industry, but we are welcome to everybody that wants to come and take advantage of our workshops and network and all of that great stuff.
How long have you been with the organization?
I've been off and on for 15 years, but this is the first time I'm actually on the board, and it's been 6 months.
Well, good. So, Denise, how about you? How long have you been involved with the group?
It's going to be about a year now.
A year?
Yeah.
Okay. And how'd you find out about it?
You know what? Through networking, actually. I've been networking for more than a year, for 2 years now, and I came across an invitation to an event, and that's where I met the president of the organization and the rest of the board. And I just love the energy of all these women there, like their experiences, sharing, how far they have come. So it just wanted me to, get closer and join them as well.
That's great. How many women are part of the association?
Right now, we have close to 100 members.
Right. And so is it the members, do they pay to this? Do they have a year? How does that work?
Yes, we do have an annual fee. It starts off as low as $25 for students, and we do offer an internship program for them to come and do work on the summer. And then we have a $50 membership, which is a personal. Then we've got a $125, which is a professional, and then $350 is for corporate. Now we have added a new one, which is a lifetime membership of $1,000, which is pretty fun. We're very excited about that. People are really interested in that.
No, I think that's great. I take it as because the organization is so successful that if somebody was a member in 2004, are they still members? Are there some of those that have been there the whole time?
I think that, what is very interesting, because we've been doing surveys right now, is that people come in and then they have a different stage of their life, and they go out, then they come back. So we've had people that were like myself, that I've been since 2007 in and out, because I have had different types of businesses, and I've tapped in and then, was doing something else, tapped out, tapped back in. So I think that we have more of that than somebody that's been here the entire 20 years.
Right, exactly. So Jamie, you being an entrepreneur, and
Yes.
every single way you turn around, you're doing something new and different and all that. This organization must be near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, I love hearing about the mission and what you all are doing. And you touched a little bit about some of the programs that you are offering. Can you also give an example of how those efforts have directly transformed a Latina entrepreneur's journey?
Absolutely. So we have one member in particular that I can think of where she is doing painting, and they had a business before. Now they're back into their business, and she never thought about government contracting. She was just thinking residential.
Yeah.
So we have tapped her in, got her involved with Apex and SBDC, and making sure that she understands that all these certifications are free. You don't have to pay anybody money to get registered in SAMGov, and then get her NIC codes, which I know you know what that means, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And getting all of those things for her so she can see bigger if it's her desire.
Yeah.
So it is overwhelming.
Yes.
And that's why the mentorship works so wonderfully, because everybody on our board and our members all have different experiences. They come to the table with different things.
Yeah.
We have some people that are talking about the struggle between raising children and going after their passion. And it's like, we hear you because we've been there. So that is really what we try to do, is really create that bond of you're being heard, you're being understood. And this is part of this journey.
Yes. And it's so necessary, because I know on my journey, organizations like yourself they weren't around. Mm-hmm. So having an organization like yours helping women along and dealing with those different circumstances and being a mother or, going through the entrepreneurial journey and having that community that you've created, I think is amazing that you have that. And then also adding in the government contracting piece, which I know how difficult and nuanced that industry is, that you're there as a resource for them to guide them through the process. I think that's amazing. So thank you for what you're doing.
Yes. And we go out to the community where it's, because I'll use me as an example. 4 years ago, when I started my business, I spent over $5,000 getting certifications. And the reality is I had to do all the work anyways. Right. I didn't know it was free. I didn't know that SBDC, that Apex, that they could help me.
Yes.
And I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years. I never needed these certifications, so I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing is we do events, we do fairs, everything that we can get out there and make sure that we're grassroots and let people know that we're here.
Yes.
Yeah. And give them this information.
Well, and we all know, especially with organizations like yours, half the battle, maybe 90% of the battle is just getting the word out and getting it out more than once, twice, 3 times, 4,000 times. I know it's so critical to do that. We're chatting with our friends from the National Latina Business Women Association, Rebeca Sheehan. She's the Vice Chair, Scholarship and Grants, joined by her colleague Denise Montero, Marketing Chair. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 19th year. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, 6 decades of doing great things in San Diego County, from food insecurity to literacy to arts and everything in between. They just do a great job. Honored to have as my celebrity co-host, Jamie Moraga. She is the founder and CEO of Franklin Revere. You have another question, Jamie, you want to ask?
Yes, I do. So you had an Elevate Your Impact event that sold out. Can you tell us more about that event and why it was a success? And then also tell us, you've got some exciting upcoming events that you wanted to touch on as well that I'd love to hear about.
Yeah, of course. So we were very excited that our event got sold out very fast. We were not expecting this, and we were so excited. And the thing is, because what encompasses this event, so it's 3 modules that we're going to have to this event. So it's going to be about the first one is we're going to have a professional photographer take you your portrait, your professional portrait. So, and this is all about that we're offering to our Latina woman in business and professional. You need a professional picture to show there, who you are and show that, professional pose or professional outfit, and have it, because a lot of people don't have access to that. So we are offering that during this event.
Oh, that's
free.
fantastic.
Yeah. And also the other module, the second module that we're going to have is a financial vision board. So everyone can, put their goals where they see themselves in 1, 5, 10 years, and the person who's running this she's a financial, an expert in the financial industry. So it's going to be led by a person that knows everything that she's talking about. And the third module is about branding. We're having someone coming from Los Angeles, and she's going to talk about everything about branding yourself. How to sell yourself. What is it that you're bringing different that the other Latina women are doing the same, but you're branding differently. So it's going to be, it's kind of covering all the aspects of who you are and how you're going to sell yourself and where do you want to go. So we're excited that it got sold out.
I'm really happy you brought up branding yourself. When you talk to some folks, it goes, I don't want it to be about me. Okay, no. Yeah. What you have to do is you have a brand. I used to have this conversation with my friend Ronnie Froman. Ronnie, very much of a huge community leader. She was our Navy mayor. She worked with Jerry Sanders, head of the Red Cross. We'd always get together for breakfast, and she goes, I don't like branding myself. I said, you're a brand, Ronnie. Yeah. Anyone who knows Ronnie Froman. I mean, take advantage of the fact that people love you, and not a lot of people have a great brand. There's like, I say the person's okay, I guess. You do. I'm so glad to hear that. And so has it been hard for you, Denise, and I'll ask you the same question, Rebecca, to brand yourself?
Actually, it was. It was, in the beginning, but, honestly, I can say that this organization has helped me in so many ways to push myself further. I have met, I'm a professional. I don't own a business. So this organization has helped me to gain that confidence in me and keep going. And I have been networking with all of these women for the last year, and I have met so many incredible women and different people in the industry that I'm so thankful. And right now, I kind of want to give back. I want to give back to the other Latina woman that is coming. Is like, how do I start? So for me, I've been learning so much about myself. This is who I am, and now I'm starting thinking, well, what if I want to, do my own business? How do I brand it? So I'm starting already like all
Beautiful.
These things, thinking is like, and then I get excited because it's like, this is something that I feel that I can do. So yeah.
How about you, Rebecca?
Well, so this is really interesting, this question, because we just had a conversation about, do you brand yourself or do you brand your business? How do you do that? So the nice thing is Denise Leon, who's going to be presenting our third module, she owns Ooh, I Love out of Los Angeles. And she is an influencer brander. That's what she does, of a lot of Latina cosmetic companies, Tapatio, tequila companies. So we're bringing an expert in to really teach us, and she brands herself and her business. And I'm really curious to find out, because I always feel like, do people want to know the silly things that I put on Facebook? Or, but I do know my LinkedIn is being branded, very professionally and so forth. But do I really want to bring my other stuff in? So that's kind of interesting how we're going to, I'm really looking forward to learning on Sunday. So about that detail.
So I want both of you guys to think about this, because at the end of the interview, we're going to go to break in a few seconds. I'm going to ask how you would brand yourself. How would you describe yourself? And when we were doing this I worked for the Union Tribune for many, many different years. And of course, what you tend to do sometimes is you brand yourself as maybe an inanimate object. Yes. And when people first started doing some of these surveys about the Union Tribune, we came back as, you are stodgy, cigar-smoking, old white male driving a Mercedes.
Oh, wow.
I go, well, that's about right. We're around since 1868. And we had to change that. We had to change it to, and how do you can't do it overnight and all that. Yeah. So we're thinking about that. When we come back from break, we're going to talk about your May 4 event coming up, Legacy of Success. I know Jamie has more questions for you as well. And we always save time, Denise and Rebecca, at the end, what our listeners can do to support your efforts. Ask for anything when we return with Rebeca Sheehan, Vice Chair of Scholarship and Grants for the National Latina Business Women Association, joined by her colleague, Denise Montero. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, You get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast. We've been doing this now for 19 years, brought to you by the great folks at Mission Fed Credit Union, 6 decades of doing very cool things in San Diego County. We are joined by Rebeca Sheehan, Vice Chair of Scholarship and Grants for the National Latina Business Women Association, joined by her colleague, the Marketing Chair, Denise Montero, and I am honored to have sitting next to me. This will not be her last time she'll do it. Well, maybe she'll run for the hills. I'm not sure afterwards.
I'm not going to run for the
I
hills.
hope you don't do that. Our celebrity co-host, Jamie Moraga, longtime community leader and the founder and CEO of Franklin Revere. Jamie?
Yes, I would love to hear more about your upcoming event on May 4th, The Legacy of Success. So can you tell me more about that?
Yes.
Yes. So on May 4th, we have a brunch. It'll be out of Encinitas, the Encinita Community Center. And it's really inspiring to us because a lot of our events happen south of the 8 freeway. And this one is the first one we're doing north of the 8 freeway. And it really captures all of like our Vista, Escondido. And it's really exciting for us. We have a brunch, which we're going to be featuring a fashion show like nobody's ever experienced before. Sandashi is our designer, and her fashion shows are out of this world, but her designs are all hand-painted by indigenous people in San Miguel de Allende.
Oh, wow.
So Sandashi is actually a native word which means blank canvas. So it's really exciting to get to see this clothing. They have a show, a showroom in Chula Vista. And then we've got a couple of really wonderful speakers that are going to be coming in. The event itself is to empower, to talk about our legacy. I think that a lot of times we get stuck with, oh, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. And we forget that what we were given from our parents or whoever raised us is whatever they had in their toolbox. But at the same time, celebrate whatever they did give us. And this is why we are who we are today. And so one of the speakers is a mother and daughter business. And and another one is like very, very dynamic, who's going to be talking about legacy and what do you want people to think about you? So there's everything that we do, there's always an educational component in it. On top of celebrating, May is usually the month of women. So we want sisters and cousins and moms and just everybody come out and celebrate with us at the beautiful venue. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, Encinitas. So that is what we are doing on May 4th. We also have another event coming up in June 5th, which is a member-only event. And that one is going to be about fine-tuning your pitch, refining your pitch, and how to get a return on your investment in networking. It's a hands-on. That one will be in Mission Valley. We're very excited about, we do events that are really members only so that we can all refine and get ready. And then we do events where everybody's invited, just to make sure that we're always giving value to our members and that they see that. But we're very excited about this event. We've already started selling tickets, and you can find them on our website, which is NLBWA
Right. So Legacy of Success is from 11 to 3, correct?
Correct.
Exactly. And are males allowed in this event?
Males are always invited.
Thank you.
Like I said, we were founded by women.
Right.
But that's because these Latino women saw that there was a need. But we are inclusive to everybody. And we do actually have male members in our organization.
I'm so glad to hear that, because I always tease my good friends at the San Diego Women's Foundation. They're on quite a bit. I want them on every single day, actually, to be honest with you. I became their first male advocate. I created my own advisory board of one person.
Way to go, Charles.
Exactly. No, and we all know that. Can the males be the mentors as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We embrace everyone.
Sure.
What we want is people that come with experience and a good heart to help. Because all of us that have been, executives or have owned our own businesses and entrepreneurs, it is a lonely road. Jamie, you and I talked about this earlier today. It is a real lonely road, and you don't find people that have been through what you've been through. So that's what we want, is to make things like, I was a single mom with 4 little boys. And I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years. So, my story is different. And I know what it's like. Like, do you do homework when you get home, or do you clean the dishes when you get, how do you do everything besides running a business? Right.
There's no question about it. We're chatting with our friends from the National Latina Business Women Association, Rebeca Sheehan, Vice Chair, Scholarship and Grants, and joined by Denise Montero, Marketing Chair. I'm Drew Schlosberg, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, joined by my celebrity co-host, Jamie Moraga, founder and CEO of Franklin Revere. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, soon to be an author.
Yes.
If you don't mind just sharing with Rebeca and Denise what book you're working on.
Yes. So I'm currently writing a book on the female CEO journey, from founding to exit and everything in between. Just like we talked about before, is addressing that need for women who are leaders. It could be, past, present, future, about the challenges, the successes, all the things that go into being a leader, motherhood. There's just so many different things and different components that make the journey so unique. And I didn't have that book when I was going through my journey, and I wanted to write something that I think would be helpful, that would have been helpful to me and hopefully helpful to women who are currently in the role, aspiring to be in the role, or the future generation of female leaders. So yes, I'm currently writing that book. It's going to talk about the full circle journey. And I'm in the midst of writing right now.
Right. And Jamie has promised, we have it on record.
You do.
That we'll break the news once it's ready to be published. They'll be the first people who are going to hear about it are going to be on the show here.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah,
Yes.
I think that's terrific on this. So I'll start with you on this, Denise, and then we'll shift over to Rebeca. What can our listeners do to help support the mission of what your folks are doing and anything in between?
Yes, of course. So like Rebeca said, we have, if they can go to our website, we have all the information there. We have information on events, how to become members, our mission, our vision, everything, our committee, our board members, everything is there. So the first step, I would say, go and visit our website. Everything is there. So like Rebeca says, NLBWA So from there, they can start attending these events. Like Rebeca mentioned, these events are for everyone, for members and non-members. So if you're not a member, you can come to our events. But if you want to support us, you can support us by becoming members. And you can choose from any tier. If you're a professional, if you're a business owner, or if you're a student, you can support us in any way. And we also have our social media platforms. If you can join and register and follow us and that would be great, because the more people we have, the more awareness are in that community. So we have our platforms on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. So we invite everyone to follow us and like us on our platforms.
Right. And I imagine you need volunteers.
Always.
Like any good nonprofit and so forth. And people want to donate. Do you have a big donate button right on the website?
We do. And for example, for immediate need, which would be our May 4th event, We have 4 tiers. We make things accessible. So we do have, like our presenting sponsor who actually gets time. We've got an audience of 200 people. And when you look at the numbers of what our sponsorships cost for the event versus the amount of people that are standing there listening to you, it's a really good deal. And we really go out of our way to make sure we've got reels and we've got, content from you, and we're constantly putting it out. Now, one thing that makes us unique as I've come into my position is if you sponsor my event on May 4th, you will be a sponsor the entire year. So we will be promoting you all year. And there's so much value in that, as well as you get a full table, you get, and you also get a vendor table. I mean, we really want to embrace to make sure that people are getting the return on their investment with us. So currently, I just started the sponsorship end, but I think there's so much value in it that I'm hoping that people will decide to join us and always, think of, who am I doing this for? Who am I bringing this back? Our goal in fall, last quarter, is to have a 10-week MBA type program for our members and other people that want to join us. Now, these programs, business programs, cost anywhere between $1,500 to $2,500 per person. So our goal in raising funds is to be able to have a class and have in San Diego, because these classes, there's some in Inland Empire, there's some in Los Angeles. We have not brought it to San Diego yet. So that is what our focus is this year, is raising money to be able to have the best speakers and be able to have the best, and it's an in-person course.
No, that's going to be great. Okay, I asked you folks earlier to be thinking about how you would brand yourself, all right? And so I know you've been giving thought to that. I'm going to brand myself, and maybe because I have a puppy that's like this, as a golden retriever, full of energy, uncontrollable, but friendly. So that's how I'm branding myself. Jamie, how would you brand yourself?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. I guess for me, I try to be such a genuine and kind person. And I think that one thing that I've been most proud of is in my female CEO journey, I never got hard in terms of being I didn't conform to feeling like I needed to be that, tough CEO. And I'm glad I stayed true to myself. So I would say, I don't know if I have an animal in mind for that.
You do not need to have an animal in mind.
But in terms of, I'm proud that I have stayed true to who I was when I started my business.
That's a great brand on this. Okay, Rebecca, how about you?
I think I would brand myself as a teacher because it's my passion. As I've come through my journey and as I'm getting closer to the 6th floor, 60, I realize that that's always been my passion in all of my businesses. It's teaching other women how to start their business and how to move forward. Because I used to own salons back in 2007. I owned 3 hair salons. So that was a huge challenge. And then when I turned my mentality into just teach, just offer and teach. And it's just always stayed with me. So I think as a teacher, but like the good teachers, not the bad teachers.
That sounds good. How about you, Denise?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. But I guess for me, what's in my core and the things that I've loved growing up has been nature. Being close to the ocean, close to the water, like you mentioned, animals. But for me, just the fact that I can be closer to nature, and this is something that I'm thinking in a long term, like if I'm at some point I'm going to retire close to the ocean. So I don't know, something related to the water, it's kind of vitality, it's nurturing and it's kind of giving back. The ocean always gives back. So it kind of takes and gives back, so I guess I could say the ocean.
First of all, congratulations. It is not easy to do this assignment. And some people would take 4 months to do this, and you guys did this in 3 minutes. So that obviously tells what you've done. Listen, nothing but great success for your National Latina Business Women Association. May 4th, Legacy of Success. What's the website one more time, Rebecca?
NLBWA San Diego.org.
Very good. Promise us that you will come back on somewhere down the
Absolutely.
road. And
Yes.
we'd love to have you bring in a member that has benefited from the workshops.
Absolutely.
And some of the
Great idea.
mentorship. So we'll make sure we have that somewhere down the road. Wishing you great success in everything you're doing, especially on May 4, Legacy of Success. Really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for all that you do.
100%.
Of course.
I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast. Now in our 19th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, 6 decades. They're doing great things. My celebrity guest host hit a grand slam already. I'm not sure how you're going to top this one for the rest of the day. Jamie Moraga, the founder and CEO of Franklin Revere. We hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.